I just read the last chapter of this noir detective, a private eye detective story, novel, I must say. It's written by Timothy Adams. It's a Teddy Glass mystery. Teddy Glass is the private eye and the main character in this gritty novel, Baltimore City. This is Obscure Book Adventures. And it is July, so this means it is Private Eye July. And for this reading event, there are 2 prompts. One prompt is read a story. This can be a novel, but you can also read a short story, novella, novelette, whatever you like, with a private eye in it, a private investigator in it. And that is written between 1920 and 1970. But this book is for the second prompt for this month, Private Eye July, and that is read a novel that is written between 1970 and now. And Tim's debut novel, Baltimore City, is written in 2021. And I enjoyed myself very, very much with this novel. And and in one of the last chapters, not the last chapter, but one of the last chapters, I thought, oh no, Tim, what's this? and then I read the last chapter, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. And I will be talking a little bit about that without spoiling the plot, I must add. And it made me think, I know Tim, not face to face, but he has a booktube channel, Tim with Thumbs and Tails, and I watch his videos and he watches my videos. So we have on a regular basis some interaction, and it's made me think, is this making me biased? So I will give an honest review of this novel. What's the story about? Well, Teddy Glass is this really typical noir kind of private investigator. The story is set in 1940, and Teddy Glass is hired to find a woman and her daughter. And this seems to be more problematic, not so much the finding of this woman and this daughter, finding out what happened to them is not that difficult, but there are problems because he has found at least the daughter. And these people, both mother and daughter, originally came from Ukraine. And like I said, it's set in 1940, so Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, Stalin's Soviet Union. There are all kinds of classical elements in this story. For example, there's often there is bad weather. It's raining or it's foggy, and you can see Humphrey Bogart walking down the street with his I think his hat is called a fedora, and you can see him, or Robert Mitchum. You can picture those classic noir private eye detective like Philip Marlowe, for example. But there are also Teddy Glass has to prevent himself from being killed and shot. That there are chases. There is action in it, the gritty kind of noir action in it, but it's not the action action is not the the most important thing in a novel is not the action, but it is the solving of the mystery. Who is trying to kill Teddy Glass? Is this daughter, Ukrainian girl, in danger? And is he able to save her? What's up with these Nazis creeping about? And I must say that I'm always a sucker for a World War I veteran. And Teddy Glass is a World War I veteran. And he is missing an arm. So you can say that it has this really... there are typical noir stuff in it. There is typical noir stuff in it, but the story feels original to me. Of course, there's the classic damsel in distress, and there is the classic femme fatale in it. There are mobsters in it. Well, like I said, there are Nazis in it. What are these Nazis doing? There's a millionaire in it, and all these people. Well, Teddy Glass has to figure stuff out. At the end of the story, I think one of the last chapters, not the last, and not the last chapter, but I thought I saw a plot hole. And reading the last chapter, what seemed like a plot hole is explained, and I think it's a reasonable, good explanation for it. But there is some confusion, as it seems like a plot hole. So in the editing phase, I kept thinking, why does this feel like a plot hole when it's in actual fact not a plot hole? And I think it is because we go through with Teddy Glass on this journey, and when Teddy Glass finds out stuff, finds evidence, and thinks about, theorizes about possibilities and solutions, and speculates on how stuff is actually, what is actually going on. And we go on this journey with Teddy Glass. When Teddy Glass finds out something, evidence, or has a conversation or whatever, we as the reader get the same information at the same time Teddy Glass is finding stuff out. We are never withheld evidence, as it were. And in one of the last chapters, not the last chapter, there is this big climax, absolutely fantastic climax, in my opinion, and it's really entertaining, but there is something going on which appears as a plot hole. It's not because we as the reader are withheld evidence, as it were, but we are being misinformed. Teddy Glass is I don't quite remember if it is Teddy Glass who is withholding evidence, or even well, I won't say lying about it, maybe lying about something that is actually happening, which is an obvious lie. I don't know exactly if this is the case, or if it is the writer who is mispresenting stuff is misinforming us. I don't remember, but I do get the feeling that in this chapter, in this big, absolutely fantastic, action-packed climax, which is absolutely well written in my opinion, this feels like, hey, I thought things were different, and that makes it feel unlike a plot hole. But it is, I think in the reading the last chapter, Timothy did an excellent job at explaining stuff. But somehow this feels like, okay, this is a very satisfying ending of a story. Everything is neatly wrapped up and explained. For me, it has a satisfactory ending. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I don't think this is really a big issue, I must admit. And I've realized a couple of years ago that I'm some sort of perfectionist, and I tended to judge others, other people performances, or other people's stuff, as it were. If there were books, films, or whatever, I would judge them by my own perfectionist standards, and I thought, well, that's unfair. Hey, stop it. You sound like somebody, nobody can meet my standards. Yeah, I need to explain this because it sounds really arrogant, and I don't mean it in an arrogant kind of way, and I had high standards for myself, being a perfectionist, and so I when I rated films and novels and books and stuff, I didn't often rated a book 5 stars, for example, or gave a film 10 out of 10, because nothing is ever perfect. But I've changed because I kind of got fed up with the fact that I will never meet my own standards, being a perfectionist, and it kept me from, it held me back from doing stuff. Like, for example, I want to write a story, and I don't even start, or I stop writing for a long period of time, because, to be honest, being a perfectionist, I thought I'd never meet the standards I have. So this is really holding me back, accomplishing stuff. And the basic fact for it is that I must admit, I'm scared. I'm scared that my story will never be good enough, and I'm just scared, and I don't want to be scared, because it's keeping me from doing the stuff that I want to do. And one of these things is write a story. So hats off to Timothy for writing his story, I must admit. But this really it's not that I am lowering my standards, but I don't know the English expression. I really I more often give, for example, a novel 5 stars. Not because it's the perfect thing in the world, but because I value the story, and I just, I don't know the English words. It's I think people who make an effort and do a good job at it that's above average, well, they deserve 5 stars. It's not that it's the perfect story, but it's nearly perfect in my opinion. And Baltimore City is popular fiction. It's a hard-boiled crime novel. It doesn't pretend to be a literary masterpiece, and in its own genre, I think it's just it's an he did for a debut novel. Timothy did an excellent job at it, in my opinion. The writing style is really excellent, I think, for especially for a debut author. It is really in the classical noir kind of detective noir kind of style, and the action really feels well written as well. It's not overcomplicated or overly described. Language is the language of the 1940s film noir. I haven't read classic hard-boiled detective stories. I can't remember I did, but I can imagine it is straight up in the style of the classics. Like on the back of the novel it says classic hard-boiled detective, like noir novels made popular by authors like Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, Rex Stout, Erle, Stanley, Gardner, and Ross MacDonald. And I think this is an excellent. I would advise you pick this one up. It's highly. I entertained myself with it anyway. I found it a highly entertaining novel, and I can see that there is craftsmanship in it. I once read a novel who was sent by me by the author, and halfway I thought, well, the writer of this novel has lost interest and doesn't know how to fill the pages. So he fills pages without the overview of the whole story, without it felt like he was just filling pages, and it felt like he lost interest in his characters as well. That is absolutely not the case with Baltimore City and Timothy Adams. I feel in his writing style that he had absolute fun writing this story. And it is not that long. It is what is it? 226 pages, and never I get the feeling that he is filling pages. Every chapter is important for the development of the plot. And although this detective story is a plot-driven novel, the character of Teddy Glass is well developed. He is a World War I veteran with one arm, and he is this classic poor detective desperately in need of money and a paying client. And what did I want to say with it? The character of Teddy Glass is well developed. He has these flashbacks from when he fought in the trenches during the First World War, and you can see he is really a three-dimensional character, if you get what I mean. So I think Timothy did an excellent job at that as well. Read this novel. It's a highly entertaining novel. So pick it up if you like a good noir detective story. I enjoyed myself with it. Thanks for watching.